Hello, Chicago, and welcome back to the Able Table, where we are changing the narrative in women leadership. I am your host, Dr. Freeman, and I have certainly enjoyed the podcast so far. I've certainly heard from women who have emailed us and said how much the podcast has been great help for them wherever they're trying to do. We've heard women share their story. We've heard women say how much they really have enjoyed this podcast. We're so thankful that you are able to tune in to this last series, the part 3 of Executing Bold Moves for the Future. So I am excited because, again, at the table, we want to help you get to that next level, improve wherever you are in your life. We're helping you. We're helping your brand. We're helping your business because you can do what you think you cannot do. And I'm excited to hear your testimony wherever you are on this journey. We want to stay connected with you as we continue these series and podcast episodes. So stay connected with us. We are excited to be a part of your journey. So let's get into this last series on executing bold moves. And I'm so glad to hear from so many women from all over the world who have tuned in and are listening. And I'm thankful that we're able to help. So as we left off with the first 3, let's pick up with the 4th thing that can help you execute these bold moves. And number 4, you should do what others are afraid to do. Quite simple. You really should do what others are afraid to do. And I understand that fear factor is scary. It's crazy to do something that other people are afraid to do. I mean, it sounds so unreal because a lot of us stay in our comfort zone, our box. We're not ready to shift. We're not quite ready to jump into the swimming pool. We're not quite ready to test that cold water just yet. Wherever it is, and you might not even want to change your nail polish. I don't know about you, but I like to stick to the same color. They try to get me out into a different color, and I resist it in the name of Jesus. But you cannot be afraid to do what others are afraid to do. And this is going to push you out there. It's going to get you set apart. It's going to set you apart from everybody else. So how do we do that? I always say this, great leaders are always willing to do the thing that's frightening. No, that's true. Great leaders do crazy things. That sounds crazy to the common people. Who's going to invest $130 million into a product that you hadn't even made the money back? Well, Steve Jobs did with Apple. He was incredible. He invested before he even made the money back. And guess what? With the Apple, the iPhones, the computers, his return was phenomenal in the first 12 months of release. Again, you have to do that. We have to. We can't stay bottled in. And I want to ask you this. Are you really willing to invest in yourself? Are you really willing to learn? Are you really willing to do what you need to do? We're all in this together. I want to encourage you just as you encourage me. So, number 3, make a difference. Number 5, make a difference. You can make a difference. And I'm excited that you are making a difference. And it's not easy. It's your responsibility to make a difference in your brand, to make a difference in your customer, to make a difference in your sale. Because when you do make a difference, it's going to set you apart. It's going to make you feel more fulfilled in your work. Make a difference. Get out in the community. You can go to your local neighborhood block and say, hey, this is what I do. I want to help. That goes a long way. You've earned their trust. You've earned their concern. And they see that you are concerned in return. So that goes a big, long way. Make a difference. Number 5, change fast. Come on, say it with me. Change fast. We have to continue to change. I know we mentioned it in that second part of the series. I'm going to repeat it again. And it's on my list, number 6, change fast. As I was sitting down, coming up with the content, figuring out all of these things to help you get there, the last thing was change fast. Bold moves are always different. They're always revolutionary. And if it doesn't change you, if it doesn't create pain, if it does not keep you up at night trying to figure out where in the world it's going to do and how it's going to happen, it's okay. Trust me, you will get used to it. It requires, I say it like this, being simultaneous. You have to be spontaneous. You have to be simultaneous. You sometimes do have to shift, even when you don't want to shift. You have to realign your strategy. You have to realign your talent. You have to juggle things all at once, figure out what's more important now and then get back to it. You have to realign your brand. You have to do all of those things. And listen, no change is perfect. You're not going to get it right the first time, and that's okay. The point is, you have to stick with it. Change can be messy. Change can make us uncomfortable. And in the real world, if people are really honest, it demands a lot from us. It means we have to adapt. And a lot of times, are you willing to adapt? Overall, I guess it's safe to say that we're not used to change. But successful leaders always change. They're simultaneous, they're spontaneous, they're always seeking new products, always seeking new ideas, always trying to figure out how to get it done. And they're not afraid of change. If they could, they would walk on water. Seriously. And I always say, I want that water walking faith. I want that faith to be able to say, I have a growth mindset. I have the mindset. I see it. And it shall get done. So listen, don't talk yourself out of it. And I really want to know, I want you to ask yourself, how much better would your life be if you were able to make these changes? If you were able to get rid of old habits? If you were willing to get rid of the same routine? If you were willing to say, it's no longer working for me, right? Stand up. I know, I've done it. And I know you can do it also. I want to encourage you here in this podcast, listeners, change as soon as you need to. Change it. And that's the key. You have to be resilient. And that's one of the most successful things that you can do right now to execute these bold moves is to change. That is the key. You cannot be afraid. You shall not be afraid to execute these bold moves. Stand right there, face it, accept it, and remove the fear factor, because you really can be able to make these changes. You really can be able to make these moves. It's so possible. I hope you've enjoyed this last series of executing bold moves for the future. It's been phenomenal. So I'm excited. Stay tuned for our next episode on how to outpace your competition.